Welcome to today's deep dive. You've sent over a whole bunch of stuff on behavior change.
Oh, yeah.
Including excerpts from Katy Milkman's book, How to Change.
Okay.
And even some pretty fascinating footnotes.
Interesting.
We're going to try to break it all down for you, so by the end,
you'll
have a few new tricks up your sleeve for changing your own behavior.
Okay.
And maybe even inspiring others to do the same.
It's really quite remarkable how much research has been done in this area.
Right.
Katy Milkman's definitely a leading voice in the field.
For sure.
And she kind of brings together insights from psychology, economics, and all sorts of different fields.
All right, let's jump right in.
Sure.
What are some of the biggest obstacles to change that Milkman identifies?
The structure of her book actually provides a pretty great framework for us because it's kind of built around those obstacles.
Interesting.
So she really tackles everything from impulsivity, procrastination, forgetfulness, confidence.
Okay.
And even like how our social circles influence our decisions.
So she kicks things off with that story about the piano stairs.
Yep.
In a Stockholm subway station, right?
That's right.
That experiment where they were trying to encourage people to take the stairs instead of the escalator.
Right.
Remember that one?
Absolutely. And it was remarkably effective.
Yeah.
Just by adding that element of fun. Yeah. Making the stairs into a giant piano keyboard.
It's like a fun way to work out.
Yeah. They saw a 66% increase.
Wow.
In people taking the stairs.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
But how does that apply to my own life?
Right.
It's not like I can install piano stairs in my house to motivate me to do the dishes.
Well, that's where the concept of temptation bundling comes in.
Okay.
It's not about literal piano stairs. It's more about the principle behind it.
I see.
So, think about something that you really enjoy.
Okay.
Maybe listening to a podcast or an audiobook.
Yeah.
And only allow yourself to indulge in that activity.
Oh.
While you're doing something you usually dread, like those dishes.
Interesting. So I'm basically bribing myself with entertainment.
You could say that.
To tackle those boring chores.
Yeah, you're making that undesirable activity more appealing by pairing it with something that you genuinely enjoy.
Smart.
Simple but powerful.
It is.
Shift in perspective.
She also brings up that story of Odysseus tying himself to the mast.
Oh, yeah.
To resist the siren's call, which seems like a little extreme.
A little bit.
But I guess it makes a point, right?
Absolutely.
What is she getting at there?
It's a great metaphor for what are called commitment devices.
Okay.
These things that can help us outsmart our own tendency to procrastinate.
Oh, that's good because I need that.
So think of it like setting up guardrails for your goals.
Okay.
In Odysseus's case, it was physical restraint.
Right.
But we can use things like, those locked savings accounts where you can't access the money.
Oh, I've seen those.
Until you've reached a specific savings goal.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
So it's about setting up systems that make it harder.
Right.
To give in to temptation in the moment.
When your willpower is low,
yeah,
that's when you need those systems.
Speaking of commitments, one study Milkman talks about found that simply prompting people to write down a plan for getting a flu shot increased vaccination rates by 13%.
Wow.
Is that just about remembering to go, or is there something else going on?
It's more than just remembering.
Oh,
It's about what's called cue-based planning.
All right.
So when you take the time to really think through those details, like when you'll get the shot, where you'll go, you're creating a mental trigger.
I see.
And that act of planning makes it more likely that you'll actually follow through.
Gotcha.
You're basically setting up a series of cues that lead you towards your goal.
So if I'm always forgetting to take my vitamins, maybe I should try writing down, take vitamins after breakfast and sticking it on the fridge. You got it.
So I can't ignore it.
You're linking that action to a specific cue that you encounter regularly.
Oh, okay.
It's like creating a mental shortcut to healthy behavior.
Nice.
The cue triggers the action, making it automatic and less reliant on willpower.
Less willpower, the better.
Sometimes.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
Now, Milkman also tells this story about a student who makes a major mathematical breakthrough.
Interesting.
Just because he thought he was supposed to.
Wow.
It seems like believing in yourself can really have an impact.
It definitely does.
On what you can achieve.
Absolutely.
That story really highlights the power of a growth mindset.
Yes.
So this idea is that your abilities aren't fixed.
Right.
And effort plays a huge role.
Exactly.
In your potential.
It's about fostering a belief in your capacity to learn and grow.
Okay.
Even when you face challenges.
So it's not just about having the skills.
No.
It's about believing.
It's about believing you can develop those skills.
Yeah, exactly.
And surrounding yourself with people who believe in you can be incredibly powerful as well.
Oh, wow.
Their expectations can shape your own self-belief
Right.
and even your performance.
That makes you think about the company you keep.
Yeah.
And how their beliefs might be rubbing off on you.
For sure.
Speaking of social influence,
Yeah.
Milkman brings up that energy consumption study.
Okay.
Where people who were told they used less energy than average
Right.
ended up using more energy.
Yeah, it seems counterintuitive.
Definitely.
But it shows the power of social comparison.
So we all want to fit in, I guess.
Yeah, we have this natural tendency to want to kind of fit in with the group.
Makes sense.
Even when it maybe goes against our best interests.
So even when we think we're making independent decisions, we're often influenced by what everyone else is doing.
Exactly. It's a really powerful reminder to be mindful of our social circles.
Okay.
And the norms that they kind of perpetuate.
Right. Especially when we're trying to make a positive change.
Yeah.
It's fascinating how we can unconsciously adjust our behavior just to fit in with everybody else.
Definitely.
But let's maybe shift gears a bit and talk about some of the tools that we can use to actually make those changes stick.
Yeah.
Milkman offers like a whole toolbox
of
strategies.
I like that.
And I think you'll find them pretty interesting.
All right, let's crack open this toolbox. Where do we start?
Well, we've already talked about temptation bundling.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's worth kind of revisiting that.
Okay.
Remember those piano stairs?
Yeah, who could forget those?
Right.
Made taking the stairs fun.
Yeah.
Which is something I need more of in my life.
So how can we apply that principle to your own challenges?
Okay.
Let's say you're someone who struggles to find time for exercise.
Yeah.
You could try bundling it with something you love.
Oh, okay.
Like catching up on your favorite TV show.
Okay.
Only allow yourself to watch that show.
While you're on the treadmill or out for a walk.
So I'm tricking my brain into associating something I usually avoid.
Kinda.
With something I actually look forward to.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it doesn't have to be entertainment.
Okay.
Maybe you enjoy learning a new language.
Yeah.
Use that as your reward.
Okay.
Say, I can only listen to my language learning app while I'm folding laundry.
I love that. Turning mundane chores into like opportunities to learn something new.
Yeah.
Sneaky and brilliant.
Speaking of sneaky and brilliant, let's talk about commitment devices.
Oh, yes.
Remember Odysseus and those sirens?
Yeah.
We're not suggesting you tie yourself to anything.
Okay, good.
But the idea is to create those constraints that kind of help you stay the course.
Right, like setting up those guardrails.
Exactly.
We talked about earlier.
But I'm curious, what are some more like practical examples of commitment devices?
Right, because not everyone has a mask just lying around.
Right, exactly.
Handy.
So think about deadlines.
Oh.
They're a classic commitment device. And the beauty of them is that they can be self-imposed.
Okay.
You don't need an external authority breathing down your neck.
Yeah, that's true.
Just mark those deadlines on your calendar.
Okay.
Treat them like unbreakable appointments.
I do that.
You do?
I break down larger tasks into mini deadlines.
Fantastic.
So I don't get overwhelmed.
That's a great strategy.
Yeah.
You're creating that sense of urgency, momentum that keeps you moving forward.
Love it.
Another good example is social accountability.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that voter turnout study?
Yeah, where people were more likely to vote if they knew their neighbors would find out.
Exactly.
Peer pressure can be a powerful thing.
It can be a powerful motivator.
But how can I apply that to, say, my fitness goals? I don't need my neighbors judging my workout routine.
You don't need your neighbors.
Okay.
But you could find a workout buddy.
Oh, okay.
Or join a fitness class.
Yeah.
Having someone else relying on you or even just witnessing your efforts can make a big difference.
Yeah, it's about using that peer pressure in a good way.
Exactly.
Okay, what about forgetfulness?
Yeah.
I'm like the queen of good intentions.
Okay.
But sometimes they just slip my mind.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah. What can I do about that?
Cue-based planning is your best friend here.
All right, remind me how that works again.
Okay, so it's about strategically linking those good intentions to specific cues in your environment or your routine.
Give me an example.
Let's say you want to remember to drink more water throughout the day.
Okay. A very good goal.
You could place a brightly colored water bottle on your desk as like a visual cue.
Right.
Every time you see that bottle,
oh, I see.
You're reminded to take a sip.
I never think to do that.
It's so simple.
Yeah.
But effective.
It's like these little visual reminders are jogging my memory.
Exactly.
Without me even thinking about it.
And the more vivid and memorable those cues are,
the better. Yeah. You could try using sticky notes with funny messages.
Oh, fun.
Or even setting an alarm on your phone with a catchy tune.
I like it.
Right.
Making it impossible to ignore.
Exactly.
But what if the thing I'm trying to remember is more complex than just drinking water?
Yeah.
What if it's like a multi-step project or something?
That's where checklists come in.
Okay.
Checklists are like magic.
Nice.
For forgetful minds.
I can get behind some magic.
They help you break down those overwhelming tasks into those manageable chunks.
Oh, okay.
Ensuring that nothing falls through the cracks.
They're like a safety net for my brain.
Exactly.
I use them all the time for work.
Yeah, and they can be just as effective.
Okay.
For personal goals.
Gotcha.
So whether you're planning a vacation, organizing your finances, or just trying to establish a new morning routine.
Okay.
Checklists can help you stay on track.
Very helpful.
And avoid feeling overwhelmed.
Now I think we need to talk about confidence.
Because, let's be honest, sometimes that's the biggest hurdle.
It can be.
You have these goals, and then this little voice in your head starts whispering all these doubts.
Right.
And then you freeze up.
Self-doubt is a powerful force.
It is.
It can really undermine even the best laid plans.
Oh, sure.
But here's the good news.
Okay.
Confidence is like a muscle.
Okay.
We can strengthen it.
All right.
With practice and the right strategies.
I need to hit the confidence gym stat. What exercise are we talking about?
We already talked about the benefits of advice giving.
Oh, yeah.
Remember how that can boost your own self-belief?
Yeah, it's like when you explain something to someone else.
Right.
It like solidifies it in your own mind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it reinforces your own sense of competence. So find opportunities to share your knowledge and expertise with others.
Okay.
Whether it's mentoring a colleague, helping a friend with a problem, or even just offering your perspective in a conversation.
So instead of questioning my own abilities, I should be looking for ways to help other people.
It's an interesting twist.
It is.
But it can be really powerful.
It's a good reminder that we all have something to offer.
We do.
Even when we're feeling a little unsure of ourselves.
Absolutely.
Okay, what else can we do to pump up that confidence muscle?
Surround yourself with supportive people.
Oh?
Sounds simple.
Yeah.
But it's incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
Choose your friends, your colleagues, your online communities, even the books you read.
Okay.
The podcasts you listen to.
Right.
With intention.
So curate my social circle. Like I curate my Spotify playlists.
Exactly.
Surrounding myself with positive vibes only.
Seek out those who inspire you, who believe in you, who challenge you to be your best.
Love it.
Their energy and their belief in you will become contagious.
It's like a playlist for my life.
Yes.
Filled with uplifting and empowering tracks.
Love it.
And don't underestimate the power of setting realistic expectations.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah.
Sometimes we set ourselves up for failure by aiming for perfection or setting goals that are just too ambitious.
Yeah, guilty of that.
For our current stage in life.
Yeah, you get so caught up in that go big or go home mentality.
Right.
You forget to celebrate the small wins along the way.
It's great to have big dreams.
Yeah.
But we also need to be kind to ourselves.
Okay.
And acknowledge that progress takes time.
It does.
Break down those goals into smaller, more manageable steps.
Yeah.
Celebrate those milestones.
I like that.
Along the way.
Okay.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Exactly.
And neither will my perfect life.
Right. Speaking of marathons.
Oh, yeah.
Remember those emergency reserves
we
talked about?
Yeah, those built-in allowances for slip-ups.
Because let's be real.
Right.
Life happens.
Life happens.
You're not always going to be perfect.
Exactly. So instead of beating yourself up when you miss a workout or indulge in a treat.
Yeah. Give yourself permission to have those emergency moments.
I like that.
The key is to not let those slip-ups derail your overall progress.
Right. It's about being flexible without losing sight of the big picture.
Exactly.
So if I'm hearing you correctly,
yeah,
it's about a mindset shift.
Yeah.
Embracing the ups and downs.
Yes.
Recognizing that growth isn't always linear.
You got it. That's the essence of a growth mindset.
I love it.
It's about viewing challenges as opportunities.
Okay.
For learning and development.
Yeah.
Rather than seeing them as threats to our self-worth.
Okay, so instead of getting discouraged when I hit a roadblock, I should be asking myself, what can I learn from this?
Exactly.
How can I adjust my approach?
It's about embracing that process of experimentation and continuous improvement.
Yeah.
And remember, growth isn't always about making giant leaps.
Okay.
Sometimes it's about those tiny incremental improvements.
Okay.
That add up over time.
Yeah.
Okay, one last thing I want to kind of unpack. Before we move on social influence, we've touched on this a few times.
We have.
But I think it deserves its own spotlight.
I agree. It's so powerful.
It's such a powerful force.
Yeah.
And it's often operating beneath our conscious awareness.
Right, like that experiment Milkman describes in her MBA class.
Okay.
Where she instructs some of the students to applaud when they see a picture of the dean.
Right.
And the students who didn't get those instructions, they end up clapping along anyway.
They do.
Just because everyone else is doing it.
It's a classic example of social conformity.
It's like we're wired to fit in.
We are.
Yeah.
We want to follow the lead of the group.
Makes sense.
Even when it doesn't make logical sense.
So even when we think we're making independent choices, we're often swayed by those invisible forces of social pressure.
Exactly. Wow. And this tendency can be both helpful and harmful.
Oh, okay.
Depending on the social norms that we're exposed to. So if you surround yourself with people who support your goals and values, their positive influence can be incredibly motivating.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But if you're surrounded by people who engage in behaviors that you're trying to avoid, it can be much harder to resist those temptations.
Yeah, because it's like you're unconsciously absorbing attitudes and behaviors of the people around you.
Exactly. That's why it's so important to be mindful of your social environment. And choose your influences wisely.
So surround yourself with people who inspire you.
Yes.
Challenge you to grow.
Absolutely.
And who embody the values you aspire to.
Well said.
This has been so insightful.
Good.
I'm starting to see my own behaviors in a whole new light.
Oh, good.
I'm realizing how much I'm influenced by the people around me.
It's a common experience.
Often without even realizing it.
Right.
Yeah.
And the good news is once you become aware of these influences, you can start to make more conscious choices about how you want to be shaped by them.
Okay, so we've talked about all these different tools and techniques for changing behavior.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, like, how do we actually put all this into practice?
Right.
It feels like a lot to remember.
It can feel overwhelming.
Yeah.
But remember, the key is to find what works best for you.
Oh, okay.
Not every strategy is going to resonate with every person.
Okay.
So it's really about experimentation and customization.
So it's not about trying to implement every single thing we've talked about.
No.
It's about picking and choosing
Right.
what fits my personality and my goals.
Exactly. Start by identifying the specific challenges that you're facing.
Okay.
Are you struggling with impulsivity, procrastination, forgetfulness?
Okay.
Once you've kind of pinpointed the problem,
Yeah.
you can start to explore the tools
Okay.
that are most likely to be effective in that particular situation.
So if I'm a notorious procrastinator,
Yeah.
I might start by experimenting with commitment devices, setting deadlines, making public pledges.
You got it.
Okay.
And if you're constantly forgetting things, cue-based planning might be your new best friend.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The key is to be intentional and strategic about which tools you choose and how you implement them.
So it's like building a personalized toolkit
I'd love that.
for behavior change.
Yeah.
Filled with the things that work for me.
Yeah. And remember, it's not about being perfect.
Yeah.
It's about progress, not perfection.
Yeah.
So allow yourself to experiment, to make mistakes,
Right.
and to adjust your approach as you learn what works best.
So it's a journey, not a destination.
Exactly.
It's okay to stumble along the way.
Absolutely. Change is rarely linear.
Yeah.
You know, there will be ups and downs, twists and turns.
Yeah.
The key is to just keep moving forward,
Okay.
even when things get tough.
Keep going.
Keep going.
And to be kind to ourselves.
Yes.
When we have those setbacks. It's not about beating ourselves up. It's about learning from those experiences.
Yeah, and adapting your approach.
Right.
Now, before we wrap up this deep dive, I thought it would be helpful to distill everything we've talked about into like a concise summary. Almost like a 10-point cheat sheet for behavior change.
Oh, perfect. A 10-point plan.
There you go.
For conquering our inner demons and achieving our wildest dreams.
All right. Number 1, temptation bundling.
Yeah.
This is about linking something you enjoy
Okay.
with something that you dread.
Right.
Making those healthy choices more appealing.
Yeah.
Remember those piano stairs?
I do.
Pure genius.
And yes.
Number 2, commitment devices.
Okay.
This is about setting up those constraints that make it harder to give in to temptation.
Okay.
Like deadlines, public pledges, even those locked savings accounts.
Right. Odysseus outsmarting those sirens.
Exactly.
Okay.
Number 3, cue-based planning. This is all about creating those mental triggers that prompt you to act automatically, linking your intentions to specific cues in your environment.
Okay.
Remember those strategically placed water bottles?
I do.
And sticky notes.
Very strategic.
Number 4, fresh starts.
Okay.
Use those moments that feel like new beginnings, like New Year's birthdays, even a Monday morning to initiate change.
I like that.
It's like hitting the reset button on your habits.
Love it.
Number 5, the power of routine.
Okay.
Establish consistent habits by incorporating desired behaviors into your existing routine.
Make it automatic.
Exactly.
Okay.
Number 6, advice giving. Boost your own confidence and insights by offering guidance to others.
Right.
It's like you're teaching yourself by teaching other people.
Okay.
And it feels good to help.
It does.
Number 7, copy and paste.
Okay.
Learn from successful peers and deliberately imitate their strategies.
So find the people who are already doing what you want to do. Study their methods.
There you go.
Gotcha.
Number 8, growth mindset.
Love it.
Believe that your abilities are not fixed.
Okay.
And that effort fuels your potential.
Yeah.
Embrace challenges as opportunities for growth, not threats to your self-worth.
Okay.
Number 9, social influence.
Yes.
Surround yourself with positive role models and tap into the power of social norms.
Right.
Choose your influences wisely, both online and offline.
It's all connected.
It is.
Okay.
And number 10, embrace imperfection.
Well, that's a good one.
Allow for slip-ups and use setbacks as learning opportunities.
Okay.
Be kind to yourself. Change is a journey, not a destination.
It is.
There you have it, your 10-point blueprint.
Love it.
For behavior change.
So helpful.
So we encourage you to experiment with these tools.
Okay.
Find what resonates with you and adapt them to your own unique circumstances.
Yeah, make it your own.
Yeah.
Remember, the power to change is within you.
It is.
You just need the right tools.
Yes.
And a little bit of self-compassion.
Absolutely. And one final thought to ponder.
Okay.
How can you use these insights not only to change your own behavior, but to inspire and support others?
Well, that's a good one.
On their own journeys of change.
That's a great question to leave our listeners with.
Yeah.
It's a two-way street. We can all be agents of positive change.
We can.
For ourselves and the people around us.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into behavior change.
It's been great.
Hope you found it insightful and empowering.
Until next time.
Yes.
Keep learning, keep growing, and keep believing in yourself.